So let's start at the very basic to answer your question of like, what's different now? What's the opportunity? The basic, most important underlying piece of the next generation puzzle is identity. And that's where we started. A lot of people look at our journey and look at how we started the first use of digital objects on blockchain, the first NFTs for engagement. And it looks like from there, we then started to build on that premise. But actually, we started around a different notion, which is, what if we could all own our own data? What if we could all be ourselves? Again, if we go back to our earlier statement where this world is made up of people, places, and things, as you go to the internet, there's none of that. You're not a person, you're a account register, individual in that particular company's database. And then you go to another one and now you're that, and now you're that. You're not you showing up, right? So there's no people there. There's no places as opposed to, hey, let's go meet at cars.com. And there's no things, there's no true ownership. So as you go to people, places, and things, you start to add that as a way to now advance the next generation of the internet. Let's start with people. Well, I want to be a person when I show up. And when I go to the next, I want to still be me. And what I took from there, I want to have. That's me, it's my inventory, and it's my persona that I want to express. The way that I express myself is my choice. So you're allowed to have my birthday. And my dentist might be allowed to have certain aspects of my medical records so that I don't have contraindications. It doesn't kill me with laughing gas. And this guy may be able to have something else. But that's my choice, right? And so when I start this journey and I look at where we go, I really believe that that's the underpinning of people owning their own identity, their own data. So what does that look like in Web3? It looks like what's kind of become known as the Web3 Wallet. That is the base layer. A lot of us, and I'm one of them, believe that everyone will have one. You'll have, today, maybe people have 75 apps and they use 4. It's very hard to find what you want if you want different types of things, and you end up trying something new and maybe incorporating it, but you don't have one place to keep the essential elements that are you, that you go from place to place. So I think that's the first piece. What that does is it allows you to show up in a certain way, ultimately not only monetize your data, but get paid yourself, right? Not only for your data, but for your work output, for your creativity. So that's the base. The next thing for Web3 is that when you move to a more decentralized kind of system, and somebody doesn't like your freedom of speech, how you're expressing it, what can they do? It's really hard to shut down the internet. Now, some countries have become pretty good at it. And there's reasons. If you ever look at a country that gets this kind of dictatorial type leadership, the first thing they do is shut down freedom of the press, right? That's step one. Yeah. So what's interesting about Web3, it's really hard to do. So rather than shut it down, if you want to control the conversation, you're gonna have to find another way to appeal to people's interest, or at least appeal to people that you want to build a movement around. Just shutting it down, really, really hard to do. Same thing with money. Right now, if somebody decides they don't like your activities for whatever reason, right or wrong, shut off your money. In a decentralized economy, it's much harder. That poses both an opportunity and a threat because you don't want money moving around in nefarious ways. So, each of these positives has negative corollaries. So having guidelines around how you want to set up your communities is important, which brings us, I think, to the maybe last point I'll make, and that'll be like maybe the way I can describe the foundations of Web3. You have your identity, you have your information, you have the ability to express it in a decentralized manner. And then in that same context, you now can create, right? And I think that's the biggest promise of this, is that we start with top-down content and everybody being able to consume it. But it then moves to communities of interest, the ability to express yourself, which communities you want to join, kind of neo tribes in a way. And then as you're part of these tribes, how do you want to govern them? It's really the next generation of society in a microcosm. And I think it's extremely exciting to think about both the long term and the immediate applications to just have better communication and more effective business.
To continue watching the rest of the episode for free, visit our website londonreal.tv or click the link in the description below.